fuck all. It's blinding me eye. Anyway, I'm back out. I've had a couple of split, well, half of one and a few Baileys, but these birds fucking, so far I've nearly been in the nut by about 3 birds, the feathered variety. But it's just too hot indoors. I think because I've moved all that shit in, I think that's creating more heat, because obviously I'm depleting the space, if you understand spaces, and how heat conducts itself and whatnot. Yeah. But saying that roundabout, so it's all good. I'll tell you what, I might have to get a drink in a minute of the fizzy variety. But I fancy a beer though, so I might have a few of them as well. Not that I really drink beer, but I might do just to celebrate. Celebrate getting away from Clarion and fucking doing me nothing for 13 years, I reckon. And they're still trying to prolong it by going, oh, you can have another hour. I'm not going to do that. I've decided now I'm going to go the court route, so I just get in and get all my stuff. Otherwise, they're just going to keep doing that, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? You can work out what their crack is straight away. But to be honest, I've done it for 13 years. I ain't doing it anymore, man. It's only now that I've discovered I'm enjoying myself, do you know what I'm saying? So, but legally I've got to get someone to look at it, because the way they've acted, they just acted like gangsters, the way they've rolled up on me. But that just motivated me really to just, well, I was never giving in, man, do you know what I mean? They offered me so much money to get out originally, and now I owe them more than that, so I've had more out of them than what I would have got. And I've already said I'd rather go to prison than give them a penny, so there you go. Put me away and throw away the key. Been a naughty boy. Do you know what I mean? I don't give two shits. We're just going up here, look. You got the train station up here. And the pub. Now my camera's stuck. So like this heat's playing like havoc with my phone. It keeps, you know, you've got like the brightness setting. I think what it does is when it gets so hot, it just cuts them right out. And even if you go into them, it'll say that they're on maximum. But I think that just to stop like the chip in the phone frying out because it's so hot. So I never normally get that happen. But it's quite annoying because you can't see what you're looking at, if you get me. So you end up just going like that because you can't see the screen. But my other mate's phone is the same as this. It never does that. Yeah, I think it randomly does it when the phone gets hot. But do you know what I mean? My phone might be broke. It might not supposed to be doing that. But that's what I reckon. But it keeps doing it. It only sort of does it when I'm out here in the heat. God, the size of that copper then, man. He's about 19 foot tall. I've had a few fights with him growing up, but you was allowed to have a fight with him when I was growing up. It was all part of the course, do you know what I mean, of getting arrested. You never got nicked for that, but now you go boo to him and you're getting nicked, do you know what I mean? And that's just too hot in that sunny bit there. Fucking hell. That geese just stared at me because I said effing out, but my bad English, isn't it? I know all the swear words, you know. But anyway, we're back out and about. But I might have to get a cold drink just to cool down. It's just too hot. I reckon. Anyway, we're entering the dangerous part now. There's nobody scaring me. Yeah, and this is probably pretty dodgy. The area I'm in, even now, it's pretty dodgy. But I'm used to it after the dark, mate. And nobody's chanced it yet. I don't think they will. Well, I don't know, you might get some group of psychopaths out. But like I said, I ain't going to think too much about that because I don't operate like that, if you get me. It's only last night that migrant rolling up on them two girls, it kind of threw me brain a bit. Coming across that kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't randomly expect to come across that, but I did come across that. Quick look, off we go. We're just here again. These big balls. Don't know what the significance of that balls are. Probably someone local might know. My auntie would know, or my cousins, but I ain't got a clue. Excuse me, just out of curiosity, I've just moved here from another part of Kent.
Yeah.
Them big round balls.
Yeah.
What significance have they got and when did they get here?
No, they're just border balls, they're just granite sets.
Stop people from crashing.
Stop people from driving on it.
Oh right, that would stop them, would it? Would that stop the
yeah.
terrorists, them balls?
Oh yeah.
If he's going like flat
There's
out.
steel through them into the ground, concrete into the ground.
Oh right,
so
so
roll them out.
That's reinforced right down.
Yeah. About 2 metres I think put them in it.
So I was just curious as to
the granite set.
what the crack was with it.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of history and mad stuff, isn't there, around here?
Oh yeah.
Like my dad's in the submarines at Chatham.
Yeah, down the dockyards here.
Yeah, it's quite mad down there. Anyway, cheers for that information.
Right, mate,
Just curious. There you go. There's your bit of history for the day. I believe you're some kind of security operative that works for the train station. But now you know. They're properly raw bolted in the ground, probably. I don't know whether they got rebar on them and then concrete. I ain't got a clue. That's what they're there for. Who knows? I suppose someone ain't good chored them and put them in the garden, but they're probably too heavy. Anyway, let's get out of the sun. Right. Yeah, now enjoying the weather. Why it's still sunny, I reckon. I'm going to go back in that. Well, I might have to get a power supply from somewhere that's going to run me mixer. Otherwise, it's a new mixer. A new mixer will cure the issue. But I don't know where the mixer shops are. But I know there's another record shop. I don't even know. Probably an electronic shop or something. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of them, like old electronic shops. That's just too bright, man. See back on. But I can make one that'll fit it, but I need the plug that's the right size, then I can doctor the wiring. It works on 5 volts or 9, so it doesn't matter if you run a few more volts for it. As long as you're not throwing the bollocks out of it, it'll work. I remember looking around at the transformer thinking, I've got to remember to put that in the bag, but I was too busy pulling the speaker wires out. And nobody remembered, so it's still sitting there. It's mad, isn't it? But there might be something else, some other device that I can rob the wire from it. Lots of people trying to decipher what I'm saying, but they can't. The foreigners, because I'm talking to, one's talking like me, but what are you saying now? I can't even, I've got to get my glasses. Car ran me. Oh, why? You know all about that then. You could have answered the question then. I thought they might have some kind of significance, but I can't see fuck all. Everything's gone bright. But we'll just carry on. In fact, no matter what side you're getting on now, you're getting the sun anyway. But it'll be alright when it gets out of the way. It doesn't come in my vision. It says everything's bright. The randomness is starting to happen. It's random shit, but I think it's quite mad. Like I said to my social worker and the council again today, I spoke to this afternoon, I'm quite happy here. And she was going on about Tunbridge again. I thought you for real, do you know what I mean? And then I said about me renting privately. She said, yeah, you're allowed to do that. I might have to get some new shades. I might have to get some cycling shades, even though someone stole me bike. It's a bit bright, man, for me. At least I can see anybody coming out the brightness. Just about. It's proper bright. Too bright. Yep, everyone's giving me the smiles and nods. People who I'm seeing, I'm starting to come across people now, again and again, and they're sort of nodding and acknowledging me. Not that I'm hanging around to enter into deep conversations, but I just float about, man, I do. That's the best way to operate, just float about. I ain't in no group, you know what I mean? I just float about. But them pigeons, man, they're fucking killers, bro. I've had about 4 of them today, swoop right at me. Don't get that in West Kent. It's, they've lost their wildness, so it's like them foxes, man, they're not like it's an urban fox, it's used to people. Whereas your countryside fox, it'll disappear. Do you know what I mean? But I had one the other night come right up next to me, like it didn't give a shit. And that's your urban fox. And what they've done, they were there first, but years and years of building and keep building on nature, and they're still here. Do you know what I mean? The original things are still here, but they've evolved into being a wild animal, into being quite a timid, I'm going to walk next to you. I've never had that. One walk right next to me. You don't get that in Kent, in my part of Kent. Do you know what I'm saying? So I thought that was quite mad. But that's, I don't know where they go though. Obviously your foxes in the countryside, they dive right out of the way. I don't know where your urban ones go. Or whether they even sort of nest the same way as the other foxes. I don't know whether, unless they go to the greener parts. This gee's going to run me over. That's just too bright. Oh, I can't see jack shit. Tell you what, it's really bright out here. Fucking too bright. Wow. And I do believe there's only 2 cash points in the town. One's at the garage and one's at a Nationwide, which is who I belong to anyway. I ain't walked up this bit too much. It goes into Gillingham Park, I think, yeah. Which is a place that I haven't frequented after dark yet, after midnight. So I'm going to be doing that, but I've heard about that bit, that it's full of like crackheads, smackheads. So we'll check it out one night. Crackheads and smackheads don't bother me. not as if they're capable of doing a lot, is it? Yeah. And the way I look at it, I ain't interfering with them. They need to not interfere with me. That's why I operate out here on the street. Is I ain't bothering no one. I ain't interfering with no one. I ain't putting my camera on anybody's face. So if anybody does pop up, they can just do one. Yeah, but it's interesting. I've got to say, there's a lot more sort of happening around this area. There's some kind of war memorial there, look, from the First World War, and the Korean War. There you go. Let's hope that the youngsters and that respect these things in years to come. Because the Russians are coming, didn't you know? I think the youth of today would just get eaten by the Russians. It'd probably be the older people that would come out. Yeah, but then again, he's threatened to nuke us twice. But our submarines have already got our nukes where they need to be pointed at. Everyone's pointing them at each other, to be honest. Even countries that make out their allies are still pointing fucking warheads at each other. It's still programmed in the computer. Wow, I'm on this looks like a different world around here. Not like East London, where my mate Shelley comes from, right? Greenwich. She walks round one corner, and it's the fucking most deprived place you've ever been in your life. And then she walks around another corner, and it's like fucking £1 million mansions. It's not really like that in my part of Kent, because it's more spread out. Whereas in the cities in London, it's more visible because you've got the rich people and then you've got the poor people, and they're living side by side, and it's a shame really, because all the property is getting bought up by Russians and Chinese, the rich ones. They own the majority of the country, I think. It's crazy though, isn't it? But I suppose the way that the developers look at it is, who's got the money? In this kind of climate, we don't care if you're Russian, we don't care if you're Chinese, we don't care if you're an Afghani warlord. You've got the dough, you're in. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy world we live in. And I'm glad I'm quite as old as I am, because can you imagine this in 100 years' time round here, or anywhere? You won't be able to say fucking boo to a goose, mate. It's crazy. And the days of having an open mind and free speech will be long gone. But I tell you what, I'm always going to tell it like it is. There's no point bullshitting or dressing things up. You just got to tell it like it is, really. For a good view. That's what I think. But I tell you what, it's fucking burning me up, bro. It's too hot. I've got to get a cold drink now. And then my phone's starting to go dim, isn't it? I think it's getting too hot again. It's going dim. It's definitely not a battery issue, because the battery's pretty well charged up. It's just doing it automatically, and there's nothing you can do to bring it back. Then again, it might be because I've got the cover on the back. The cover's quite a hefty bit of kit. That could be warming it all up. That's a good thought there by me. That's what I reckon's happening. It's warming up the phone, which is obviously, if it was exposed, it would vent a little bit. But it's just warming up. I've got to get the back of it off. But I think it's done it when I ain't had a cover on it, so it's done it anyway. I love just waffling away on here, because a lot of people who clearly don't speak my language are trying to work out what I'm chatting about. But that's probably Me just chatting away too quick. But anyway, we got to look for a shop that's. So it's doing it now. It's going flickering. We got to look for a shop that sells fizzy cold drinks, I reckon. What we're going to do. I thought you said something that popped up then. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to undo one of my buttons. Let a bit more air. Well, I like to be quite smart. Glad I got this shirt back. It's my favourite shirt. I just couldn't believe that I left it behind. I thought I'd lost it. When I was in there, I was just discovering shit. I said to the social worker, you realise now the task that we've got here, and the fact it's not going to be an hour. But to be honest, I'm going to bypass all of that. I'm going to go to Medway Court, get my injunction, go straight in there, get everything out in one swoop. Because they might be playing like we'll do it hour by hour, and I can't be doing it like that. All they're doing is prolonging it, whereas I'm looking at just ending it. Yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it. They might come back to the social worker because he said, let me deal with it, because I was starting to like pipe up a bit, and he said, let me deal with it, Phil. It's between her manager, it's not even her choice, it's her manager or something who's going to be talking to my. I did tell them, I said, you know what happens if it's whatever? I'm going around there and opening up myself. And I will do. And I'll stand in front of any court and tell them what I've done. It doesn't bother me. But hopefully we won't have to do that. But what would have been mad is just if I'd have just plotted up in there today and not actually moved, just gone in there. Obviously you can be in there, but you're trespassing because you ain't burgled it. And if you're allowed to do that, then you must be allowed to just sit down and go, well, I ain't going out. I'm sitting in here, pal, all night long. I think it still applies. Not that I'm going to be doing that. I do like to tell you what the scenarios and things are, but I just wish that they'd fucking sort it out, do you know what I mean? Been in there enough year. I got out of their way before they even came. But I think what I said, they're out for maximum destruction. But they should have learned. It's 13 years now. It ain't happening, do you know what I mean? Well, I'm just about to wipe my hands with them. But it's mad how they can be really heartless people. That girl clearly hasn't got a conscience, and she probably sleeps well at night knowing she's... Because there's probably people out there that are not going to be like me, people that are taking it the wrong way and ain't able to go back. And she probably knows that she succeeded with them, whereas I just keep being there, giving her verbal. I've never gone away. And being warned by the judge, you can't swear, you know what I mean, you can't do that. I've just done it all still. But then again, I'm only doing that because on my diagnosis for the ADHD, it says on there that I swear a lot of stuff. I've been swearing since I come out of the womb, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to start changing that. At the end of the day, you've got to look at who's the villain in the party, it ain't me. Maybe I could, well, no. I was thinking maybe I could communicate with them a bit better, but you don't want to be communicating with them, do you know what I mean? They just do nothing. I communicated with them, but when they were talking bollocks, I told them they were talking bollocks. They didn't like the fact that I was telling them they were talking bollocks. I'm sorry, but I'd rather tell it like it is and sort of just be the way I am. But now it's all happened, it's like it couldn't have worked out any better, really, could it, with the record shop and everything. Obviously I'm a bit more chirpy tonight because I've got me records and my decks and that back, even though we've got loads of stuff still in there. But I've got the main thing sort of out of there, apart from the transformer. I remember pulling the plug out thinking I've got to pack that, but then I ain't packed that. That pub looks quite busy. I quite like the one on the end. This one. Southern Belle. It's got good ventilation. Where am I? I'm just up by the train station again. I need to find a paper shop just so I can get a drink. Because it looks a bit too hot for the pub. It looks proper hot in there. They look like they're sweating their bollocks off sitting in there. Which I don't want to be fucking doing. See, across here. They don't know what they're doing. I don't think them people in that motor. They just stopped at the traffic lights. She nearly got run over. Where's he going? That one. I can see again now. Tell you what, it's really bright up that way. Fucking really hot. There's an ambulance here, I don't know why. If we do a left, it brings us up right where the shops are. Oh right, there's one here, look. I think. Well, it's a strangely built house. Where's he going? No, that's the wrong way. I've gone the wrong way now. This is the right way, I think. Don't know though, there's a hardware shop there that I can normally go in. Anyway, welcome along to a rather bright stream. Maybe it's me. Then again, I'm a lot cooler with this white shirt on. It's pinging the sun off. Which is really why I couldn't believe it when I didn't even know I found it. I was just chucking all my clothes in. This is my favourite shirt. But I've got, a lot more than 2 bags worth now, which is all I originally got. But you've got to realise how heartless them people are, especially them butch lesbians, which I keep mentioning. And I will do, because there's only 2 types that I've ever seen. Whether that's stereotyping, probably is, but it's, I don't know. I got a cousin who's a gay girl, and she's blonde and really pretty. But then you get the other type, don't you? The baseball cap, the muscly type, looks like a bit of a rugby player. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope that doesn't insult any of you butcher ones out there. Get it together. Get on that running machine, and you could end up like one of the pretty ones. But yeah, they send they probably send her out to everywhere. Where's that paper shop, man? It's too hot. Medway Cafe. There's one up there that way, I'm pretty sure of. Just can't see nothing, man. Be better when it's darker. Yeah, so I've got to go to Medway County Court, get an injunction against them, and then that's it, it's over. I can go straight in and get all my stuff. Because I'm pretty certain they're just going to do it hour by hour and keep stringing it out. And I'm not doing that, man. Not when I'm holding the trump card, do you know what I mean? I might as well play it now. Boom, there's nothing I can do. That injunction forces me through the door with the social worker, and I get all my stuff back in one go, rather than them trying to dictate what the crack is and just talking bollocks, really. You've got to remember, I've been there 54 years. Yeah, I'm out. I was on my way out anyway, but there's no need to treat people like that. On fire. Yeah, I will be later. Random shouting going on. Now I'll find a shop up here somewhere. It should rain or something. Or a good storm. There'll probably be a storm. Yeah, at least I'll be able to play my records and that and grab more. I'm going to wire in the telly as well. But we didn't get my TV box. So you know what I mean? We've only done half a job, really. And they realised that after a while, because I kept saying, do you now realise that I want to take a lot more than what we took today? But once again, I didn't say anything. I'm going to let him talk to her and keep her out of it. I did tell them what the end result is if it's a no-no. And I did say to her, but just for the record, you don't own fucking jack shit of my belongings. Whether you let me back in or not. Do you know what I mean? I told her that. But I said it in a nice... I wasn't really... Well, it wasn't a polite manner, but it wasn't a rude manner, do you know what I mean? Plus, I helped her out with the prickle bush. And I don't think none of them was expecting that. She got caught in the prickle bush. And I said, hang on a minute, I booted them back because I know what the crack is with them. But yeah, I think they was all expecting me to boot her in there, to be honest with you. Fuck, it's too bright. Lots of hairdressers around here, man, but I ain't got no hair. Well, I've got hair actually, I've got curly hair. I did have curly blonde hair when I was a little baby. Yeah. Blinded by the light. There's some really pretty migrant girls, you know. Crazy. And some of the migrants are quite educated. You can tell by the way they're talking, like the African ones. They seem to be dressed all smart, and their English is pretty good. Well, not that I'm judging anyone, but the others, I can decipher just about what they're saying. But do you know what I mean? I've seen them all looking at me chatting away. But chances are they won't know what I'm chatting about because I'm talking too quick, really. But it's cooler down this bit, that's for sure. I might just sit down here and chill out for a bit, get a cold drink and sit down. Got a nice breeze coming through. Them other bits are just baking. That's where we just come from, up there. It's just baking up there. But it's a bit cooler in this bit, that's for sure. There's no direct sun coming booming in your face. But I'll tell you what, an hour dealing with Clarion, my brain was done, fried. I said to the social worker, I feel a bit sick, like just having to deal with them. And when I was asking her about getting back in, she was just talking in fucking riddles and rhymes. Do you know what I mean? And that's how they get you. They talk in riddles and rhymes, and people probably get sucked into that, but I can just put that at the back of my mind straight away. As soon as they start chatting shit, I know that they're doing that. But yeah, I know what I've got to do to end it, which will be And I can get legal aid for that as well, I think. And that's the injunction against them. Because legally, your landlord can't keep any of your property, people. So do bear that in mind. I said to Steve, I said, they're acting like they're the bailiff or the debt collector. I said, they're a housing association. And he said, I know. Crazy, isn't it? I'm not giving in to them, no. And I told Steve all about that young girl that I see with a baby, started my crusade, and that's when he opened up about the fact that they ain't all as clean as they come across. It's a proper corrupt company. They've gone from a real small company to just the biggest housing in the country. And you can guarantee a lot of backhanders, brown envelopes have been passed around. And they probably just like deleting people like me. In fact, I'm probably their worst kind of person that they can come across. Because I'm not going away. And now that it's happened, I've landed up in a better situation. With a two-tone record shop right on my doorstep. I couldn't make that up. My mate can't believe that they sent me out this far. They banged me in the computer at Tunbridge, and this is what it kind of turned back out of then. So there's clearly nowhere sort of around that area, but I think it's all right here. There's a few randoms walking about talking to themselves, but that's all good. And there's loads of pretty girls everywhere. I can tell you that much. I didn't realise that Gravesend was so busy. I'm glad to know that I'm just carrying on in my old routine, walking about at Celia Clark and Medway Park. I don't think I've been in this park here. I've been here from Gillingham Park. Now I can't see anything. It's a rather bright light. No, I've come too far now. Yeah, I need to go back that way. I've come too far out and I'm at Medway Park. I don't know oh right, that's that war memorial we were at earlier. After we just gone round in a big circle, I think. Circle, and I still ain't got my cold drink. There's a lot of derelict buildings around here. I'm surprised there ain't more of them kiddies getting in them, doing the videos and that. There's a J something, I don't know, they're only youngsters, but I tell you what, they've got very good climbing skills. They should be Marines or something, man, or in the SBS. And they don't get nicked because they're using the same thing I was going to use. If they've just climbed through a window, you ain't burgled it. If you walk through an open door, you ain't burgled it, and that's what they use. And they regularly set the alarms off and the old bill will come out, but they don't nick them though. And sometimes they won't give themselves up to them. They'll like hide in the building. But I've seen them, they got in a prison. Crazy. It's like these other people that get in go-kart tracks and have a big race, just breaking in place. What a lot of them do is go during the day, right? They'll go into the building during the day and just sit in a cupboard and hope that when they lock up, no one looks in the cupboard. I'd probably be quite good. Well, yeah, I think I could do that. But there's a thin line between getting nicked and not getting nicked, I think. But as long as you can prove that the door's open or you got through a window, you're not burgling, you're just trespassing. That's why they get away with doing they call it urban exploration things, where they get in and just look about. And a lot of that, I think, is history, isn't it? Well, that's the way I do it, look at it. It's documenting the history that won't be here soon. And a lot of it's Victorian sort of stuff, from that kind of era. Successive government after government doesn't care about people, does it? If you think the government really cares about you, then you're fucking on another planet. Sadly, and I think the battery ain't too bad. Yeah, I think the government will just tell you what you think you want to hear, but as to them actually practically doing anything, that's never going to occur. And some people are going on about change and stuff. You really think they're going to change? Don't matter who you vote for, you're going to get the same kind of outcome, which is just loads of bullshit. Yeah. First thing the MPs need to do is take a big wage cut, just bring them back down to earth. That's why, because they're living on another planet. Whereas all the people out here, they're the poor people, the government don't relate to this because they've grown up going to Cambridge and all that old shit tackle, and they don't relate to being poor. So all they've ever known is going to posh schools and that, and being proper rich. But in reality, most people ain't got a lot, do you know what I mean? Including myself. But because they're all at the top of the government, they don't know what's going on down there. And they'll never know what's going on there. You've had a few on the Labour side, but just because they come from the council estate, don't make them extra special, is it? But the majority of them are just posh, middle class, educated idiots, really. When you think of, they bang on about the education they've had, but half of them ain't got no common sense. It just goes to show it doesn't matter what education you've had. It means nothing when you've got nothing for brains, like in common sense wise. Well, that's what I think anyway. I think Guy Fawkes had the right idea, probably. We celebrate him. See, that's why they celebrate him, because they knew he was on the right track. Wow. I don't see any football tonight. Let's have a look. I think my screen's doing it again. It's extreme heat, I think. It's got to the farm. I'm going to walk down to the shop and get cold drinks, I think. And I might stop and have a spliff somewhere. They need more green spaces, obviously. Where I come from, it's just green everywhere. Yeah, it's just a bit of a concrete jungle. Not that one, it's the next one. Yeah, should we go back and wire up the decks and start spinning them new vinyls? I reckon. I think that's what we should be doing. Otherwise, I'll never get around to doing it, so I might as well start now. Because basically, we've got it out the motor and just thrown it all in there. But I did manage to get all my speakers. Like going Ashlands, you know. Yeah, I've got everything I needed to get, buddy. I was saying that, I don't even think we can power up the mixer because I haven't got a power supply, but I've got other bags that I might have thrown in. And it got to a point where I was just randomly like turping it all in the bag, all different sorts of shit. Which was, oh, there's the old builder again. The old Bill's about quite a bit today. Got the police over there again. Big lanky geezer. He's probably at the train station. About 19 foot tall. Yeah, I think something nearly happened here. Was it last night I was down here? They're like the younger generation, something happening. But I've also realised they've got like a private security firm down here, who were the ones that give me the information about the round balls. Yeah. Oh, I guess. I think I got my favourite one in. Oh, they have as well. I might get one there. And then maybe you got a bag as well, please.
Yeah, sure. Yes. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Have a good evening. Thank you. Cool, you can feel the heat here when you come out of the shop. It's all chilled in now, and then the heat gets you. I think we go up there and do a right. They're going, no, he's going to run me over. Won't give him the opportunity. We do a right up here. Because the old Bill's down there. But they've moved their car around though. I was parked up there for hours earlier. What we can do though, still wire everything in. I think I might be able to rig some other kind of power line into it. I'm not, well, I haven't even got all my tools, but I think I can still do it. I'm pretty good at fiddling around with electronics and power supplies. I think I've got like hundreds of them at home. We just didn't get the time to, well, they were rushing me. And I ain't the social work, that's Clarion. My brain was just going, I couldn't think what to grab. Well, I was just randomly filling up bags. They didn't out when you got like from Clarion. Coming across really nastily. But that's cool. Because of her ways today, I'm not going to deal with them anymore. I'm going to go to Medway County Court, get an injunction against them, because that's what you do at the end, when they won't give you your stuff and they've got no legal reason to hold it, which they haven't, because there is no legal reason to hold it. I can basically do that, and that forces me through the door to get my stuff in one go. Otherwise, if you leave it to them, they'll just feed you like a half hour here. I mean, I'm not doing that. Or even today, I said to her, I said, well, what happens if you don't give me another hour getting my stuff in? I said, you don't own fuck all. I said, you're assuming that you're taking sort of some kind of control over something. And what the law says is they don't own nothing. They don't control nothing. You might owe them your rent or whatever, but they don't own your property. They don't own your belongings. But they seem to think that they do, but I said they're actually more like bailiffs than housing officers. That's what they probably give. I bet for every whatever arrears they get back off people, they probably get a bonus. That's probably why they're extra nasty. But they never got a penny off me. In fact, I think I kind of wound the housing officer up, but he didn't really abuse me a lot. But I ended up getting just sick of his voice. When I'm supposed to have one person from Clarion and one person only, I've got about 10 trying to communicate with me. Everything they've done has been wrong, and I've kept every single bit of paper that I ever got. I'm going to run it right by the solicitor. And the good thing is, I've got the social workers on side. I've got a written statement from Amy saying exactly what Clarion have done, and that they're not complying. It's not me, I'm actually trying to comply. See, no one's seen that yet, they ain't, but they will do. And they'll put, hang on a minute. And obviously, Amy, a social worker, is going to outweigh a housing officer completely. Especially now I've got Steve, because I'm a bit of a lively one. They give me Steve, who's he's actually the head of adult social services, the head of the whole lot. And to be honest, I used to swear at him and that, but now I thank him, because I could see he's trying to help me. But obviously, because I had Clarion, and I've apologised to all the squad I swore at, who've got to do with all this, apart from the club ones. But yeah, which is why now I can get a doctor's GP again, a proper one down there, because I swore at my last one. I got sort of removed. But she said, I said to her, I've got to wait till February. She said, I'm quite prepared now, Philip, to take you off of it today. That's just for swearing. And I said, but for all means, but like, there should be, but there's some right psychopaths going to doctors and grab them. Do you know what I mean? I've never done anything like that. I've just sworn down the phone. But for some reason, where they got zero tolerance, you can't do that. I said, well, you still shouldn't be putting me on here. It's the second time I've done it. They've done it now. But she's alright with me, and since I've been moved, I've been like a different person. That much so that she's gone, I'll take you off today. So I'm now with a surgery down now. I've got to pop the paperwork in. In fact, I've never lived so close to a doctor's surgery or a shop or a chemist or anything like that. It's like it's all just down here. It's mad. Anyway, let's have a look for hello there, Cam. Where is this? I'm in Gillingham in Kent. Pardon me. And that is in the southeast of England. I'm by the River Medway. Not that I'm expecting everybody to know where the River Medway is. If you come from Kent and you don't know what the River Medway is, I suggest you go back to school, but obviously you don't come from Kent. Also, it's the beginning of the Thames, and also the Essex estuary. Not that I'm any kind of river expert. That's jogging club tonight, they're all out jogging. I see them the other night jogging under the bridge. Got to spray that. I've come under it now. That's the wrong button. Wow, all this I've got to pull out. We just haven't got a power supply for the mixer at all. I can still get sound out of it though. I'll just have to wire the decks straight into the amp. But at the minute I'm going to do absolutely nothing. I'm going to sit down, have a spliff. I've just got stuff everywhere. I've gone from having like nothing in here to having stuff in here. And I thought that we forgot the power lead for the TV. Not there's a thing over there, but we've got a power lead, so I've only got to swing that over the amp. I've got another amp there. I've got like what's called a quad amp, and what that is, it's basically I can power 4 different sort of sound systems with that. Yeah. We've also got here somewhere another big bit of kit. And no, I specifically remembered handing it to him. That's the vinyl. But every single record came out. There's one mixer. There's my lamps. My clocks, my pictures. Ah, there it is, look, hiding behind there. Got this bit of kit as well, which can also produce sound. So I forgot my TV box, that's got one built in it, I tell you, so it's handy in that respect. Oh, fine. Yeah. I'll wait till it cools down a bit, or at least I cool down. And what I'll have to do is, I think I'm going to have the telly, obviously round the other way, there. And that's all we'll have here. That chair will be coming in here, so none of this is going to be in here. Got pictures and that to put up. Got another mixer down here with no power supply. Don't think. Some vinyl in there, my buffing machine. I did just have another power supply somewhere, but I don't know where I put it. Might be one of them random bags. If it's got that random in the end, I was just shoveling the handfuls in. I might have, no. Oh, I don't know. Let's sit down, man, and cool down. Let's get a cool t-shirt on. I've got loads more clothes now. Loads more shirts. And shit. All I wear is shirts anyway. It's nice to have this one back, my favourite shirt, I think. Because I thought I'd lost it. I thought I've either left it in the house. I thought, how can you lose a shirt? And we also got this out. Steve was actually quite respectful of my dad's Navy uniform. It's got a gold thing on it. He said, give me that here. And he did, see that there? That's got gold on that. What that is, it's what my mum bought my dad. And that's all got gold embroidered around it. So that's a bit of family history there. And I've got loads of other shit. Fucking hell, we're on the tent. I bet that's off. Yeah, it might be pretty cool in there. What I'm noticing is this colour tent, it just bounces the heat off, whereas the normal green one, you'd be dead by now. Yeah. That's fairly cool. If that was green, or black, that heat would just be in there all day long. You wouldn't get that out. Obviously where it's a white colour, it's bouncing the heat off. Yeah. It gets a bit too warm in the tent in like a heat wave, but that one, it's as cool as that. Records everywhere. But I know which bags my two-tone are kind of in. Bags of everything else. Anyway, what we need is a super fast. What we need is steak and kidney pie. Still got to eat. Got loads more clothes up here. And there's no big massive wardrobe. So at the minute I'm just hanging things all over the gaff. But as I said, this isn't my permanent base. This is my base until I find another base. Yeah. I'm alright everywhere anyway, man. What I'd like is a little kind of mad little wood cabin or something in the middle of nowhere. I quite enjoy living out in the middle of nowhere, like off of the grid, so to speak. Crazy. Saying that, I think the reason I'm enjoying it round here is because I've come from somewhere that's pretty... not a lot of people floating about after midnight in my little old village, to having loads of people everywhere after midnight of all different fucking languages and religions and whatever. Not that I'm throwing religion in the mix. I don't even come into play where I'm coming from. It doesn't play a big part in my life, religion. I respect it probably does to them, and I respect that. Unless you're chatting about blowing people up, then that's wrong. Anyway, so I'm in a little bit of a shock that I've been back in the house and then got some bits. But even more shocking that Clarion employee. But it went okay. Just I don't think I'm going to wait to hear what they say. So they might give him another date, or to be honest, like I said to him, I don't think I'm going to wait about. I think I'm going to get straight into that court tomorrow as soon as I can, with all my paperwork. Go, they ain't giving me all my stuff back, judge. Here we go, boom, injunction, boom, they've got to let me straight in, not just for an hour or 10 minutes until I've completed my task. And I explained to the judge that I've got autism and ADHD, and here's all my paperwork, and here's my social worker. And yeah, got the police on my side. Not that it's a police matter, but I'm going to resolve this, you know what I mean? I'm not going to let them drag it on anymore, because I could see where it was going today. But because I've always known that as a last resort, your landlord cannot own your property. It's your property, and that is the last move you make, legally. Is to go to a county court, you get an injunction, that puts you straight through the door, not getting one thing, or so you're getting all your belongings until the job's done. And I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. I'm not waiting about no more. No, that'll just finally shut them up, because they won't be able to argue with that. Well, they can challenge it, but that's cool, because then I'll turn up with my paperwork and make them look rather stupid And I won't need a solicitor, I can represent myself. I've done before and been quite successful. Whereas they'll have some posh bloke that won't even know fucking jack shit, really, about my case. I'm getting people popping up in the case claiming to know me that I've never even met in my life. So honestly, some of these, obviously for legal reasons at the minute I can't publish them all, but I will do one day. And then you'll see that the amount of bullshit they've come out with, people that claiming to know me, right, that I've never even met them. It's mad. And also claiming incidents happened that never happened. I've got the police backing me up saying, well, that never happened. And the social worker said, well, if that happened, we'd be informed, and it hasn't happened. I said, because I know nothing about that. Honestly, they sit there just filling it in as they go along, I think. And that's what's really got my fucking goat up. Not the fact that my house is gone, I'm enjoying this, you know what I mean? But all the bullshit they come out, why not just be honest? But the lengths and the extremities they've gone to, probably because they just couldn't get me where they wanted me. So they thought they'd try every tactic. Crazy. Anyway, whatever you're doing out there, don't forget, never talk to Clary in housing. They'll numb your brain and never recover. Luckily, my brain's fairly shot away, so I've got nothing to recover from.